Alright, I think we're live. What's up, everybody? We're going to talk about the NASCAR Truck Series race here on DraftKings tonight. Qualifying just finished about an hour and a half ago, an hour ago, actually. We got a lot of cars to go over. This is kind of, the starting lineup really wasn't official until a few minutes ago, so we're kind of scrambling a little bit, trying to figure out who's actually starting where, but I think we got it good now. If you're new here, make sure you leave a like on this video, subscribe to this channel, maybe share it. Let people know that we're live here talking about this if you want. But let's get into it. Let's just go ahead and get right into it. So we know this is a plate race at Daytona today. We're going to have, it's just like a Cup Series race. There's going to be a lot of chaos. We need to play players that start in the back. That's what we're going to have to do. Play drivers starting in the back. So as we go look at past optimal lineups, if I can get to the right tab, we have drivers starting in top 12. We've had on average 1.66 drivers in the optimal lineup. Drivers starting between 13 and 25, we've had an average of 2.66 drivers starting between then and 26 and up. We've had an average of 1.66 drivers starting in the 26 and up in an optimal lineup. So when you're making your lineups, you're going to want to make if you're making a tournament lineup, this is only for tournament lineups, this is not for cash. If you're making a tournament lineup for tonight, you're going to want to have at least one driver in the top 12, at least two between 13 and 25, and at least one from 26 on up. And I know that equals five drivers. Oh my gosh, I can't do math. That equals 4 drivers. If you're going to want to put another guy in that 26 and up range, because there's going to be a lot of chaos. That's what I would suggest to do. And then that last one's up to you. I would suggest making that last driver between 13, 25, and 26 and up. I wouldn't put another driver starting in the top 12 in your lineup. I don't think that's going to be successful tonight. I think it's just going to be chaos, because we have a lot of young drivers, a few who've never even raced in a Truck Series race before, who we're going to get into, who I actually think are good plays. So that'll be interesting. So let's go talk about the drivers. I sorted them by starting lineup today. We have drivers starting 1 through 12, which is what I talked about over there. I'd like to sort them out that way. I'm not really going to be worried about track history as much of these tracks. I like to talk about where they're starting. If you've watched my Daytona 500 video, you would know that that's what I like to talk about. Johnny Sauter is going to be the first guy I want to talk about here, starting on the pole. Look, all right, Johnny Sauter, he's a great plate racer. He's won races here plenty of times, but he starts first. I don't want to go there. I just don't. You don't want to play drivers starting on the pole at these plate tracks, because they really can only go down. They're not going to go up. They have no place to go up, and this is going to be a race where there's not really a ton of laps. It's going to be mostly about place differential, and I don't want to play anybody that's starting on the pole. So I'm going to X out Johnny Sauter from my pool tonight, as I will Sheldon Creed as well. He starts second. He's just not going to be someone I want to get too much to, just because, same thing with him. He just really doesn't have a lot of room to go up. Look, he's a great driver, but he's going to have to lead laps and win this race. You want him to be in the optimal lineup, and I don't know how likely that really is. Grant Enfinger starts third. He won this race a year ago, so he's probably going to be popular. But, again, I don't really know how excited I am to get to him. He's just going to be someone that, again, doesn't really have a lot to go up to. We want to play drivers in the back, so all these guys up front aren't great. Chase Purdy starts fourth. Look, I don't even want to go Chase Purdy. He just hasn't really shown speed his whole career. And, well, his short career. He's only raced a few races. So I don't think he's going to be someone I want to get too much of. Rafael Lessard won Talladega last year, so that might boost up his ownership a little bit. But still, I don't think he's someone that I want to get too much of. Same thing with Chandler Smith. Same thing with John Hunter Nemechek. All these guys in the 1 to 12 range. Zane Smith, Haley Deegan, Timothy Peters, Tyler Ankrum, Carson Hocevar. I just don't need to get to them. I'd rather play players that are starting all the way in the back, and that's what I want to go to. But if you are making tournament lineups, you're going to probably need one of these guys in your lineup. If I'm looking at guys I want to target in that range, it's probably John Hunter Nemechek, Zane Smith, maybe Haley Deegan, Timothy Peters. Those are probably the 4 that I would like the most. We've all seen them have success. One in the Truck Series on plate tracks, although Haley Deegan not really, but we've seen her have success on plate tracks in other series. So these are the guys that I'd want to get to in this range if you are making a tournament lineup. However, for cash, I don't want any of these guys at all if you're playing any sort of cash lineup. And if honestly, even in tournaments, if you don't want to get to guys in this range, I think that's fine as well. I don't think you need to get to them. I'll have lineups without some of them for sure tonight, but I also will have lineups with them. So it's not a necessity tonight, but I do think it is an okay. Next range is going to be the 13 to 25 range, where we're going to start with David Gillan, who is a former Cup Series driver racing in the trucks tonight for his own team. I think he's an interesting play starting 13th. I think he can move up some spots. Definitely someone to get into, throw into some tournament lineups for sure. Matt Crafton starts 14th. He's in that 88 truck. We've seen him have success throughout the Truck Series. He's a past Truck Series champion. I think, 2 or 3-time champion at this point in his career. I don't remember the exact number. He's a really good driver, so he's definitely someone that has some place differential upside. Same thing with Brett Moffitt. He almost won a championship a year ago. If it wasn't for that late race caution, he would have. Starting 15th has some place differential upside as well. Probably only going to see him in a few lineups. I don't really want to play Jennifer Jo Cobb starting 16th. If she was starting really far in the back, I'd want to get to her, but for the most part, I don't think she's going to be someone on my radar. This is Drew Dollar's first ever NASCAR Truck Series race, and it's at Daytona, but he's in the number 51 truck for Kyle Busch Motorsports, so he's going to have a good truck. He starts 17th. He has a ton of upside to move up the field. This is going to be someone that definitely could do very, very well in this race. I could see him winning this race. He won Talladega in the ARCA Series a year ago. Obviously, ARCA versus truck is completely different, but still a similar win that we can look towards. I think this could be someone that we definitely need to look for as a mid-range play to get to. Austin Hill starts 18th. He's probably going to be popular just because he's expensive, and a lot of people like to fill out their salaries in their lineups, which is probably something I should talk about. Look, these play tracks, you don't need to fill out your salary all the way. I'm sure any of my lineups aren't going to have a ton of salary left, or is going to have a ton of salary left over. We're not going to fill it up all the way because you don't have to. Most of these optimal lineups from these past races, they do not have full salaries all the way filled up. So Austin Hill is someone that you can get to, but if you're debating between playing Austin Hill starting 18th and Derrick Krause all the way down here 30th, I'm fine going to Derrick Ross, which actually I think that got updated. Derrick Ross ran 33rd. Anyway, Derrick, I would just rather play the guys that are starting farther in the back. You don't have to get them. If you're leaving salary left over, do not worry about it. It is not something that you need to be worried about. Don't worry about filling out salary tonight. I will beat the drum on that a ton. You do not need to worry about salary. Favorite cash plays tonight, I really like Derrick Krause. I know on my spreadsheet it says 30th, but it did just get updated to 33rd. James Buescher, I know I have him at 32nd, but he's been updated starting all the way down at 36th position. Those are really my two favorite cash plays tonight. Also going to, honestly, just anybody that's starting in the back. Gus Dean's going to be a good one starting back. Danny Bones starting 32nd. Actually, I got updated to 32nd. So all these guys are starting in the back are all great cash plays, but especially James Buescher and Derrick Krause tonight. We'll keep going down the driver list. Austin Wayne still starts 19th. Now, he's just really not that good. He's a fine play if you want to get to him, but still, for the most part, he's not going to be someone that I'd want to get a ton of exposure to in this mid-range. There's other guys in this mid-range I'd rather get to Drew Dollar, rather get to Austin Hill. Jordan Anderson starts 20th. Jordan Anderson almost won this race last year, so I think that's probably going to bring his ownership up a little bit. But, he still has the same likelihood of crashing as everybody else in the field. So he can get up there as well, but someone who I'll target in the mid-range a little bit, but probably not someone I want to get too much to, because I do think he will be a little bit popular. Todd Gillan starts 21st. I think he's a good play in that 38 truck. He's definitely someone who has some upside to get up towards the front. I definitely like that play, Todd Gillan right there. Tanner Gray starts 22nd. He's another good play and good equipment for David Gillen Motorsports. He has upside to finish inside that top 5, top 10. He can win this race. Wouldn't be that surprised. He's in good equipment. So Tanner Gray is definitely going to be someone I like to get to tonight. Ben Rhodes starts 23rd. He's $9,800. As I see the question, Josh Dillon asks, what's your favorite spend-up option today? I think Ben Rhodes is a good one, and I also like Austin Hill we just talked about, but Ben Rhodes probably more because he starts farther back, $9,800. I don't really care about salary tonight that much anyway because I'm not worried about filling out salary in your lineups anyway. But if I was paying all the way up, I think Ben Rhodes is probably the one to go to just because he starts farther back. He starts 23rd. He's in really good equipment in the Thor Sport truck, driving a 99 truck. They moved to Toyota this year, which is probably going to be better for them anyway. So Ben Rhodes looks like a pretty good play. Spencer Boyd starts 24th here. He's won a Talladega race a few years ago, although he really finished second. The stupid blocking yellow line crap thing that screwed Johnny Sauter off a win. Starting 24th, Spencer Boyd could be someone to look to target in this mid-range as well. And then Ryan Truex as well, starting 25th. He's driving for Nice Motorsports. He's probably going to get some ownership here. Just has some upside in a pretty decent truck here. So that's going to be someone to look for as well. In this range, the guys I like the most are going to be Todd Gillan in that 38 truck. I like Tanner Gray. I like Ben Rhodes a lot. And then Drew Dollar I like a lot too. Austin Hill if you want to get to him, but I don't think you need to. Those are going to be the guys in this mid-range I like a lot. And then 30th on back, which is really only 26th on back, which is really only 10 drivers tonight, not as much as we're used to. We're going to start with Cody Rohrbarg, who always seems to do well at these super speedway races, so he's probably going to pick up some ownership tonight. He starts 26th, has a lot of place differential upside. We've seen him contend for wins. I believe he finished 3rd last year. He had a top 5, I know that. I think it was 3rd last year in this Daytona race, so he's definitely going to be someone to look towards a little bit. Chris Wright, starting 27th in the O2 truck, is someone that I like to get to as well tonight. He's a rookie here. I don't think this is his first race in the Truck Series, but I think it's his first Daytona. Still going to be starting in the back. Has a lot of upside. He isn't a decent enough truck to run well, just avoid the wrecks. Stuart Friesen, I noticed it says 28th, but I know he's been updated to 29th now. So Stuart Friesen actually starts 29th. He's going to definitely be someone I want to look towards tonight. If you want to add a cash play in there, Stuart Friesen would be one I'd like to go to for sure because he is in a fast truck. We know he has talent. We've seen him do well at these super speedway races before, and he can get up towards the front. Starting 28th, he's going to have a lot of place differential upside. That's going to be someone I like to get to. As is Danny Bone, who's gotten updated starting 32nd now, not in 29th anymore. All the qualifying stuff, it went to crap. Honestly, after I'm done talking about all these drivers, I'm going to go look at it again to make sure we're 100% good on starting lineups now. So Danny Bone, I think he's starting 32nd, $5,900. That seems like a good play. He's in decent enough equipment that he should be able to run up in the middle of the pack, and he has a lot of place differential upside, a really good floor. Derrick Ross, last I looked, was starting 33rd. Derrick Ross is a really talented driver in this series. Just missed the playoffs last year. I think he's looking for a better year this year. We should see him win a race, I think, this year. Maybe we'll start off tonight. He starts 33rd. Great floor, a lot of place differential upside. Gus Dean, yeah, his was updated as well. I don't remember exactly where he was starting, but it was in the 30s. That's going to be a really good play as well. He has a lot of place differential upside as well. Can move up a lot. He's definitely going to be someone I'd like to target tonight. James Busher has been updated to starting dead last because he had a penalty in qualifying, which pushed him back to 36 tonight. That's going to be a play that I definitely like to get to. He has a lot of place differential upside, so and he's a past champion. He's won at Daytona before. This is the guy that we want to look towards, and he's in a decent enough truck. He's probably going to chalk. He's playing the slate, but I'm not really too worried about it. I think that is a fine play. Now, Brian Dozit's probably the one guy I do kind of want to avoid. He's just not in good equipment. He doesn't ever seem to run well. I love playing guys from the back, but Brian Dozit's probably someone I'm not going to want to get to. Tate Fogelman starts 34 if I expect him to be super chalky as well. He's a fine cash play as well if you want to get to him. Just starting so far back, man, he just has so much place differential upside. Corey Roper, he is starting 30. Corey Roper I know has been updated starting 31st. I know that one. But still, great play starting 31st. That was like a great play. And then Jason White's going to start 35th, not 36th. And he's really cheap. He's around with all the out guys. People might just not even scroll down there. There's a real chance Jason White gets no ownership tonight. In a Ramey truck, it's not bad. Not a great truck, but it's not a bad truck either. That's fine for Daytona. Look, I'm going to keep beating the drum on this for these plate races. You do not need to play the great players. You don't need to spend all your salary. You just need to play guys starting to back because there's going to be chaos. There's going to be wrecks. There's going to be place differential to get towards. So be sure to look for that. If you guys have any questions, let me know because that's really what I'm here for, to answer questions. I'm going to check the starting lineups for tonight to make sure I got it 100% right real quick. Go to the Twitter. Go find Bob Pockrass. You know the vibes. Truck lineup for tonight. This is official. So James Busher is in 36th. Jason White's 35th. Gus Dean's 34th. So that's going to make him a very, very interesting play that I like to get to for sure. Derrick Krause is 33rd. That's what I thought. Really like Derrick Krause a lot. Danny Bone starts 32nd. Okay, that's a good one. Corey Roper's 31st, but I thought. Tate Fogelman 30th. Friesen 29th. Most of these guys are right. Brian Dose 28th. Chris Wright 27th. Let me see if there's anything else that I believe is wrong in this sheet. I think the top guys were right. It was all the back markers that we didn't really 100% know. Okay. So yeah, we're good on that. Let me see. All right. So, yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know. Just stack the back, man. That's how you got to do these plate races. We got to stack the back. We got to play drivers starting in the back. Don't worry about that salary. I'm going to keep saying, don't worry about your salary. Look here, I'm going to just pull up DraftKings on my laptop real quick, and I'm going to make a quick lineup of 3 or 4 drivers, and it's going to have a ton of money left over. Let's plug in. Let's see. If you plug in Danny Bone, James Busher, wow, Haley Deegan's cheap, Derrick Krause, and Stuart Friesen. You have $10,500 left over per driver. You're not finishing that lineup. You're not even coming close. You can. Actually, you can. You can play 2 drivers up there that are going to make your lineup 100% salary. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to play second and seventh starting position. I want to play maybe one of those guys, but to be honest, I don't really want to play that. I want to play guys starting in the back to have a higher floor because there is going to be wrecks. It's going to feel uncomfortable. I know that. But it's going to feel uncomfortable, but it's going to be the right thing to do. I promise you at the end of the night, unless there's, for whatever reason, no wrecks, which would be wild, I'm just, if as long as that doesn't happen, I'm going to love all these guys starting in the back. That game-winning lineup, that tournament-winning lineup is going to have drivers starting in the back. It's going to have salary left over. It's going to. I promise you that. Okay, Mark Wagner asks, at what starting slot qualifying spot would you start a lineup with for GPP? For GPP, so I'm going to go over back to the sheet over here. It's really barely anything. But for GPP, I'm going to like to probably play at least 2 drivers starting 26th on back. I want to play 2 drivers starting between 13 and 25th and 1 driver in the top 12. And then that leaves 1 spot left. Which is going to be, I would probably put another guy in the 26 on back. So I'm probably going to want to play 3 or 4 drivers, 26 on back, 2 or 3 from 13 to 25, and then maybe 1 for top 12. Just because, these guys all have great floors, but for the most part, you're still going to want drivers that are going to be up in that top spot because not everybody's going to get caught up in a wreck. One of those guys is going to end up in the optimal lineup more than likely, so you're going to want to be with that for tournaments. But for cash, it's completely different. Let's see. Any other questions? Any word on Kligerman and Davis with DK Wright being out? Yeah, they're out. So only the top 36 drivers qualified, and then it was kind of a disaster because there were some drivers who weren't automatically locked in because of championships and a bunch of other stuff. So they were all messing up there a little bit. So yeah, Parker Kligerman and Spencer Davis will not drive tonight because they are going to. They didn't qualify. You had to be a top 36 qualifier, and they weren't because James Busher, Kligerman was in at 36, but James Busher didn't qualify, but he had that championship bonus or whatever, so he was able to be locked in, so Kligerman got bumped out, which sucks. I wanted to play Kligerman tonight. He's great at these super speedways. I was looking forward to getting to play him, but that's okay. I might start making some lineups of my own, to be honest. We're going to need to do that. I'm going to make some lineups, but I'm still going to be on here, so if you guys ask any questions you want, I'm going to be here. All right, in the top 12, who are you leaning on the most? In the top 12, okay. Sorry. I'm going to like Timothy Peters. He starts 10th. I think he's an interesting one, but I think Haley Deegan's going to be one that's kind of interesting, starting 9th. Obviously, this is her first race, but I think she's a really good driver. She's shown speed her every part of racing she's been in. And then John Hunter Nemechek and Zane Smith. Zane Smith and John Hunter Nemechek are probably 2 of the top 4 drivers in the series right now, and I think they have a little bit of place differential outside. Should both run pretty well tonight. One of those 4. Peters has a little bit higher of a floor, but I think, it doesn't really matter when you're coming to 4 of these guys. I think all 4 of them are pretty solid options. Any of your questions, be willing to ask them. I'll answer them all. I'm just kind of here, just chilling right now. Also, guys, I'll be going live tomorrow at about 12 to discuss the Xfinity Series, and I think about 12 as well on Sunday to discuss the Daytona 500. The Daytona 500 video is already out, along with the Daytona 500 lineup strategy video. You guys should go check out both of those while you're at it. If you want to get more of my content, you can always subscribe to my Patreon. It's only $10 a month, and you're going to get a ton of stuff, including the spreadsheet you're seeing on the screen, along with projections, and then just a bunch of other rankings and stuff. And then I've recently partnered with America DFS, where we have a Discord, and I'm the content creator over there. So I've been answering questions during this live stream for people over there as well. So it's just basically a community where a ton of people talk and we answer questions for each other, and just you'll get to know a lot more stuff before the races. Favorite play who should be low owned? Oh man, low owned. I think Jason White's gonna be low owned because this sounds weird, right? This sounds really, really weird. I'm gonna just pull up DraftKings. No, I'm not. It sounds really weird, but when you're scrolling down through DraftKings, you have Dawson Cram out, Clay Greenfield out, Todd Peck out, and you just stop. You're like, okay, everyone else is out. But then you have these three guys down there in a group of a bunch of players that are out: Jason White, Cobb, and Dozit. And I don't think anyone's gonna play them just because they're down there. Because most players aren't doing all that. And Jason White isn't a known name. People are gonna play guys in the back that they know, and Jason White isn't one of those guys. So I think Jason White is gonna be someone who's going to be really low owned, who could have a lot of upside to finish up high, and he's not in a bad truck. So Jason White, probably one of my favorite low owned guys. And let me see if I can think of anyone else. I think Chris Wright may not get a lot of ownership. Starts 27th. He's not in bad equipment. Same with Danny Bone. Those two may not, but they probably will. It's hard to tell. Always hard to tell in these super speedway races, especially these truck guys. But the guys starting back, like Derrick Ross, James Buescher, they're gonna get ownership. Cody Rohrbarg's gonna get ownership. Austin Hill's gonna get ownership. Ben Rhodes gonna get ownership. But I think White, maybe Fogelman. Although people always play Fogelman, so probably Fogelman will get ownership. Jason White, Chris Wright, maybe Gus Dean. I think those are the guys who are gonna be low owned that may have a lot of upside. Hey, Mom, how you doing? If I have a ton of salary left, do you like me using it on Sauter to get Dominator points and high finish, or is he going to continue to be hit or miss this season? He looks smoking fast in qualifying. Yeah, I mean, I think Sauter's going to be someone, I think he's going to be fine this year. I think he had an off year last year. So, it's Daytona. So, it's not like I really doubt Sauter is going to be out front the entire race. I think he's going to get some Dominator points, but there's not usually one Dominator at these super speedway races, so I probably wouldn't go Sauter as my last spot in the lineup. If you're playing a large field tournament, maybe, but I would rather kind of go down to someone who's either just starting a little bit farther back, because the problem with Johnny Sauter is he is either going to win this race and be fine, or he's going to finish farther back, thus losing points. He's going to lose place differential points, and it's not like a normal race where one or two drivers leads most of the laps. Like it's Daytona, there's going to be a ton of different dominators, so I probably wouldn't want to go to someone like Sauter. If you're paying up and you had a ton left over, I'd rather go to someone like Austin Hill or Ben Rhodes. Would you play White in cash? Yeah, I think he's fine. I think it's a fine cash play. I wouldn't say he's as safe as some of the other guys. I'd rather play Krause or rather play Buescher, but I'm assuming you probably already have those guys in your cash lineup. So I do think White's fine. I think he starts so far back, he doesn't have any. His floor is where he starts. He's not going to get you negative points because he starts 35th. I mean, he can get you -1 more, but still, at the starting position, with the position he's starting in already, or a position he ends up finishing in, that's going to be fine. So, Jason White's fine for cash. Hoping to start this year out strong, because I did not start out strong at the Clash and Duels. And you'll see if Pockrass has tweeted anything that's notable for this race. Pockrass on Twitter. Oh, Xfinity race practices. Ty Dillon, fastest in Xfinity race practice. I mean, he isn't that jokey with racing cars. Not that shocking. Bob Pockrass picks Grant Enfinger to win. That guy's always wrong, I swear. Literally every time he picks the winner, he's wrong. Top 5, Enfinger, Moffitt, Sauter, Austin Hill, Creed. Yeah, there's no way the top 5 is like 5 top series drivers. No way. It'll be some random. That's why we got to embrace the chaos, embrace the randomness for these races. Oh. Any other questions? I'm debating on if I want to do 4 drivers in the back or do 3 or do if I want to do 4 drivers in the back, 2 in the middle and 1 up front for tournaments, or if I want to do 3 in the back, 2 in the middle and 1 up front. I said that wrong. 4 in the back, 1 in the middle. I'm so off right now. Gosh. 3 in the back, 2 in the middle, 1 up front, or 4 in the back, 1 in the middle, 1 up front. I'm debating that right now. I just kind of think this race is going to have a lot more chaos. Quick question, Austin's Tanner Gray. Yeah, man, he hasn't won yet, but he's in good equipment. He's going to win tonight. That was your choice the other day. So Tanner Gray's going to win. I can feel it, Chuck. I got you. He's going to win this race. Even though I picked Sauter, and now Sauter starts in the pole, and now I can't even play Sauter, which sucks. Drew Dollar. Drew Dollar is going to win this race, isn't he? His first ever career start of Kyle Busch Racing, Kyle Busch Motorsports. He's going to pull off this win. That'd be nice for my bank account, that's for sure. For cash, do you play all 6? Yeah, all of them. For cash, yeah, I'd play at least 5. If you want to throw one up there that's like in the 20s, like 20 to 26, I'd play all 6 26 on back. I don't think you have to, or all 6 20 on back. I don't think you have to play all 6 26 on back, but you can. Like, I don't think that's a problem. Like, if you want to do that, I think that's great. Like, I think there's no problem with that. Like, if you want to play Rohrbarg, Wright, Friesen, Bone, Krause, Dean, like, that's a great cash line, and I think you're fine with it. But if you would rather play like a Ben Rhodes or something, I think that's fine too. Either way works for me. I would play either 5 or 6 from 26 on back, but if you want to do 6, I think that works too. Both ways are great in my opinion. So whatever one you feel more comfortable with. What time is it? Race starts, 7:40? All right, I got time to make lineups. Don't want to miss out on that. It's a fun time when you forget to submit lineups or you miss the lock time, especially for NASCAR when you have so much time to do it. Alright, I'm just going to allow Cruncher to do what it wants. At least 2 from the middle and at least 2 from the back, whatever it wants to do with that. Oh, let me change this to at most 2. And then at least 2. So most they'll ever put in that mid-range group is 2. They'll play exactly 1 at the top, and then it'll either do... Yeah, okay, it works. Man, math is hard sometimes, guys. Alright, guys, well, I'm going to give it a few more minutes. If I don't get any more questions, I'm probably going to call it. Thank you guys so much for being here, though. Support. This is the most viewerships I've had on a live stream yet, so that's awesome. I'll be back for Xfinity tomorrow. Be back for Cups on Sunday. Be sure to check out all those videos. Ask me any more questions. I'll give it a few more minutes before I head on out. Want to follow me on Twitter at @NateLane_. Always go for that as well. Hopefully we're going to take down a tournament tonight. That would be a fun start to the year, take down a tournament. But more than likely, all my guys will wreck and I'll lose money because it's Daytona. Although I've had a lot of success at Daytona before. Totally just jinxed myself. Also, guys, I'm going to be doing these live streams for every single race this year. I don't know if I mentioned that yet. Every race I'm going to be doing live streams for before lock. So, I mean, for the most part. I mean, obviously, if something happens and I can't, then yeah. Yo, Luke, shut up, bro. I'm coming out a little bit. God damn, bro. Shut up. What cruncher do I use? Fancy cruncher. Gosh, this guy wants me to get back out there.